There's no
That is a true story.
Pam and
So,
that.
it's 5:01, so let's get rolling. And
Sounds good.
happy Tuesday, everybody. Good to see you all here. Thank you for popping in and showing up. And just so for you guys who know that, this is our standard little team call. And when we do special things, we invite Crossline in and support the whole group. So because we have such a special guest tonight, we invited everyone to be on to hear her story and learn from her. But first, before we do that, I really want to give some shout outs for some incredible things that have happened over the week. And the first shout out goes to Beth Day for hitting her 100-pound mark. And we're so excited for her. And she just put in her paperwork to be on the wall at corporate. So the next time we're actually all live and can go to tour corporate, then we'll be able to see her picture up on the wall. And yay. So that's totally exciting. And then new rank, so new consultants: Wes Dixon, Russ Calvert, Patrick Horn Baxter, Megan Feel, and our newest crystal manager, Riley Calvert. I don't know if he's on tonight or if he's on yet, but yay, Riley. And then so for enrollments last week: Tracy Meridian with 1, Wes Dixon with 1, Janet Chavez with 1, Stephanie, I don't have a last name for Stephanie, Pam, she's one of your girls, with 1, Crystal Ray Smith with 1, Deborah Jurgensen with 1, Melissa Pullen 1, Aylin Allen with 1, Crystal Small with 1, Patty and Drew, Dr. Patty and Dr. Drew with 1, Riley Calvert with 1, Beth Day with 1, Wes Calvert with 1, Pam with 2, Pam Nightsambo with 2, and Megan Feel with 2. So congratulations, everyone. Hopefully that, sometimes they skip out on people, but I think that's everyone. So congratulations. And I am going to mute myself, quiet myself out. And Crystal, I'm going to hand it off to you, sister.
All right. Well, Sarah's jumping on now. She was on my Zoom, so she's coming. I'm going to just wait for her audio to connect. Hello. Hi. We just finished our shout outs. I was just about to introduce you. Are you good?
Do you see me? I don't see
Whoa.
me. Hold on. I'm coming.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. I see some new names here today. Hey, Crystal, I saw you just joined. We just gave you a shout out. Congratulations.
Crystal. Crystal. This is my sister, everyone.
I think she just fell off. So don't. Oh, there she is. Hi, you're here.
Hi. Sorry. Hi.
So Sarah, if you, I'm just going to introduce you. Oh, there you are. Great.
There I am. Hi.
Good. All right.
My dogs are saying hi.
All right. So everyone, that we still have people joining. So this is going to, be recorded, obviously, for anyone who missed it. But I just wanted to.
Sister Kate is here. I'm so sorry.
Let me introduce you, girl. So everyone, this is Sarah Koval, and she has been with Isagenix with our amazing team for, I want to say like 10 and a half to 11 months, something like that, Sarah, right? I didn't look at the date, but, and she has had an amazing, story that she's going to share with you. And she's recently started building her Isagenix business with intention, which is amazing. So we have been talking about, having her chat for a while, and I'm so excited that now just seems like the perfect time. And she's just, as you're going to know in 30 seconds from hearing from her, she is an amazing human with a heart of gold, who just truly lives and breathes to, just improve other lives. So I'm so excited to introduce you guys to Sarah and let her introduce herself a little bit more, but also inspire you tonight, because even though she's so new, you're going to think that she was meant for, this world of loving other people. So anyway, we're all going to get goosebumps tonight, and get your paper and pencil out, because I know you're going to want to take some notes. I know she's going to drop a lot of beautiful, value on us tonight. So Sarah, take over. You should be able to share your screen.
Yes.
And I'm going to mute myself and
Don't mute yourself yet. So I need to share my screen. So you all, like, this is how new I am to sharing a talk over Zoom. Crystal, can you help me share my screen with my PowerPoint?
at the very bottom
Yep, share
of
screen.
Zoom, there should be like security, participants, chat, and then share screen.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay, and then
What is it saying?
so just share.
Hit share.
Okay.
I'll let you know if we can see it.
Can you all see it?
Not yet.
Thank you all for your patience.
Is it popping up another box with like little squares in it?
So yeah, Dave, it came up with security preferences and I hit allow.
And then what's it showing now?
It's showing my PowerPoint, which is just pictures. Don't worry, y'all. I'm not going to bore you
Go
with
back to unshare. Go back
You
to
can just click
unshare.
on that PowerPoint screen and then click share, and that should work.
Okay.
Maybe if you go back and try again, unshare it and then share it again.
Okay. Share screen, share.
Yep.
And desktop one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever one shows your PowerPoint on it. You should be able to see which one out of those options in there. You click
Oh,
on
I
it.
see. Okay. And then it keeps saying open system preferences.
Does it say that you need to do something in your preferences?
Yes. Login
Click
password
allow.
has been set for this user. Hold on one second. Tim, I need your help with now.
Hurry, Tim, hurry.
I'm getting my IT help.
In system preferences, probably go to display. That's the settings, the little cog looking thing.
Yes.
And then go to display.
Okay, I think I'm there.
Is there show mirroring down at the bottom? Is there that little box checked?
With that, allow the apps below to record. Just check it.
So it's because it's wanting to record.
We're already recording.
So you have to quit and reopen.
So it's making me leave and then I just have to come back in.
All right.
Okay.
We'll
Okay.
talk about it while you're gone. Awesome. Well, I hope you guys are having a great week. Does anybody want to say anything or do any personal shout outs since we have an extra minute?
You guys all look amazing.
Look at Dave. He dressed up for this occasion.
I
I'll
did.
say, since we have Dave MacArthur for a few minutes before he has to leave and run off, Dave, why don't you give us a couple of profound words?
I don't know what I have for profound, but I know that every single one of us has within ourselves the possibility to accomplish whatever we set our minds to. You know, we have to do the work, but if we're willing, we can make it happen. And there she is. You're muted.
She's so cute. I can't wait to hear from you, Sarah. This is
All
gonna be
right,
great.
I'm here.
There you
Yes.
go.
All right. And I have my PowerPoint. All right. If this does not work, I'm just going to go on without it.
Here, yeah. Yes, it's working.
All right.
Just for a heads up, Sarah, I got to jump off in just a minute. I just wanted to jump in and be on as long as I can, and then I got to run to a meeting. But
No
so
problem.
excited.
Dave. I really appreciate it. I was so happy when I saw your face pop up. I'm like, who's that? Who's that in the shirt and tie?
Dressed up for you.
Here. Okay. All right. So thank you all. My name is Sarah, as you all know. And if you guys have been here, you've seen me as like the super happy and really bubbly person. And that is me, and that has been the essence of me and the heart of me. And as I was kind of putting things together today, I was thinking about, like, how do I want to put this out and kind of draw this out? And I was thinking, well, maybe I'll do it as like my emails. So I started with, oh, I'll do it as, I have two emails. I have Nature Girl SK, and then I have a new email, and I'll do that in a second. So I am known as Nature Girl, Outdoorsy Girl, and that is truly me. As from a little girl, I was camping with my dad. I even went through a stint where I hunted, although I didn't really kill anything, but I like to pretend I was with the big guys and doing that kind of stuff. But I always fished. I slept on the floor with my dog. I mean, I was truly like, I loved nature. I did not go a day without being outdoors. I grew up in the Midwest in Ohio. As I got older, I wanted to be a vet. But as I shadowed with our vet, I realized that there was a lot of death in that. And I really struggled with that. I started volunteering at a wildlife hospital, and I really loved wildlife. So I went to college for wildlife biology, and I thought I might get into wildlife medicine. So my mom said you could go 12 hours. So I went 12 hours, and that brought me to New Hampshire. And of course, I was in the woods all the time. And in November 1st, I will not forget the day, I got really, really sick. And I have a tree here because I love to bring the natures inside with me too. And this is a Fraser fir. No, not a Fraser fir. It's soft. I'll think of it in a minute. Friendly fir, spiky spruce. I'm sorry. So November of 2000, so way before anything, was really bad, like in the world, I got really sick. I started getting migraines every single day, and I had migraines as a kid every now and again, but nothing that was incredibly debilitating. It might take me down 2 days a month, but I would eat and I would take some Tylenol, and I'd go back outside after a couple hours. Not to minimize like other people's pain, but that was it. But in November 1st of 2000, I got the worst migraine of my life, and it never ended from then. I mean, never ended. People, when I say that I've had daily migraines since November of 2000, I am not kidding you, not kidding you. I didn't know at that time that I was bitten by a tick. I had professors that would kind of mention, oh, look for ticks, but it wasn't a thing back then, like we talk about now. So I had gone for many years. I had seen neurologists, multiple people, and I just started to live less and less of a quality life. And I thought that that was just how things were going to be. This picture that you're seeing right here is me on my 30th birthday. So what had started as a life of really living big, climbing Mount Washington in the winter, leading kayaking trips. That was my first job out of college. I worked for the New Hampshire Department of Fish and Game, teaching people from preschoolers to elderly people how to kayak. And while they were out in the water, I would teach them marine biology, estuarine biology, about birds. That just slowly diminished. And by the time I was 30, I didn't even make it up the mountain in this picture.
Hey, Sarah, you might
Yeah.
want to like click your slideshow and start from the beginning, because like it's still on like normal mode. So you want to click on slideshow mode.
I was telling Tim as I was doing this today, I haven't even made a slideshow since it's like 2012.
Go down to the bottom, the very bottom, right below you in the picture.
Yeah.
And you see that little screen, it looks like a little movie screen. Click on that. To the far right, yeah, right to the left of that. Right there. The one right under, next to those 4 boxes. One more, 2 more, 1 more. There you go.
There we go. All right. So here we are. We started just doing smaller and smaller mountains so that I could get up them. And it worked okay because our dog, Denali here, was getting older. And luckily I was with a partner that was incredibly understanding. If any of you are on this call, my sisters know that Tim is one of the most loving person that I know. And he, the sad thing is that his quality of life started to decline too, as mine did. So we just did smaller and smaller things. This is a beautiful region up in northern Maine called the Moosilauke Mountains. And from the top of this mountain, I just want to say there are so many lakes that you can't even count them. So as life started to diminish, I still found the beauty in everything. I still tried to count all the joys in life. I tried to never take that spark out of me, but life started to get worse. This is a picture of about 3 years ago. I always said I would never drive up Mount Washington, but I drove up Mount Washington because I wanted to be up at the top. So as you can see here, this is now our 2 amazing dogs that we have now. And we drove to the top of Mount Washington. That's to the extent of how bad it was. I could barely even climb the steps from the parking lot to the viewing center. For those of you that have been in New Hampshire, it's the tallest mountain in the Northeast. It's one of the biggest things. It has the worst weather in the world. It's pretty famous. When I was in college, I had led a winter mountaineering course up this mountain. So to know that I actually drove up this mountain, a mountain that I had climbed multiple times, was really disheartening. I could barely zip my jacket even in this picture because it was so tight on me. You can see the swelling in my face. And many things had happened from that picture of when I was 30 to this picture right here where I was almost 40. I had suffered from very severe endometriosis, and I had lost my fertility, which was also a very, very difficult thing.
Hey, Sarah,
yeah.
Just picture, hun.
What?
Your picture, the picture is still of you in Mount.
I didn't get that.
Oh, sorry.
Could you try?
I think you need to just change the picture. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay. This is me. Yeah, no, this is, I wanted to stay here. So I'm trying to not put too many pictures out. I really want people's feedback. So please, please know that I'm just trying to be heart-led here. I don't have a lot of notes.
You know, you're doing great. I'm sorry. I thought you.
No, it's okay.
Keep going. I messed you up. Keep going.
No, it's
You are
okay.
totally doing awesome. I'm like holding back the tears, Sarah.
Cry. I'm crying. So I just wanted to be kind of transparent. Sometimes I know when people can meet me, they're like, "Oh, it's joy and happiness, and you're so bubbly." Well, there's been a lot behind this. So yeah, I was kind of limping along in life, and things were rough. And in these intervening years, I tried to take my life more than once. That's not something that I tell a lot of people, but I think it's time that we need to kind of be real about things in life. And something that I had heard this weekend, so, you know, Crystal and Jojo had asked me to talk about this weekend, and so many things had hit me. There was women, and they talked about the depths of their life. Women that didn't have food on their table, women that couldn't feed their children, women that had gone through cancer and car crashes. And it was through those horrible, horrible struggles that they found their why. And they found their reason for helping people. And I realized this weekend why that I have a huge why burning in my heart. And I like all weekend long, poor Crystal. I was like, Crystal, oh my God, Crystal. Now I really have, I've known my why, but now I am burning with my why. And I just have to tell everyone that there's a better way, that there's a way to live healthier and to be better. But people have to understand that how I got here, and that there really is, that there can be transformation. And so I think it can be important that there's a lot in my past. There's infertility, there's, you know, a lot of bad breakdowns and depression because of my health, and maybe one of those things will strike people. Maybe it's the migraines, maybe it's what you'll see next. But maybe behind me you'll see the picture of the mountains, and I bought that picture of the mountains just a couple months ago because it really has spoken to me, because mountains are my thing, and I feel like I'm getting to the top of the mountain again, but you don't get to the top of the mountain without starting at the bottom. And you do it at a step at a time. And I always loved when I led hikes, mountaineering trips, whatever it may be. I always loved being at the back because I loved helping people, working on that a step at a time. And when you are going up a mountain, whether your mountain may be illness or weight loss, a relationship, money struggles, you don't leave it all at once. You don't lose that weight all at once. I still have a whole lot of weight to lose. And I've been really scared to be on camera. I was scared to take pictures. And then I was like, but lots of women still have weight to lose. Why should I not take pictures and not be on camera? There's lots of women that are where I am still. So I'm okay. I can be on camera. I can get on and talk about it. It's all a process. It's all a step. I've been in the bad relationship. I've been in a really bad marriage before, a long time ago. And it's all about just taking it a step at a time. I can very much relate to being at the top of the mountain, and I can very much relate to being at the bottom. And then 2020 came. This is all pre-2020, baby. So we all remember, right? When 2020 came, and we were like, oh man, things are bad. And things were bad for me when 2020 came. I was going through a treatment called IVIG. If you know anyone in your life with cancer, you may have known about IVIG. So when I had Lyme disease, my Lyme disease had turned into an autoimmune disease that attacks the nervous system. And my autoimmune disease had demyelinated my nerves. So that meant that my body had nerve pain all over it. And my migraines were at their all-time worst. I had pain in my fingers and in my toes and pretty much everywhere. Like anytime a place on my body was cut, it had felt like it was seared with a torch. And so I was going under IVIG treatment, and except with people that have migraines, IVIG causes swelling around the brain. And I had what's called aseptic meningitis. So I would have to do IVIG for 3 weeks, and I would go twice a week to the infusion center. And if any of you are in the Dover area and you've known of someone that's been at the cancer center, at the infusion center at Wentworth Douglas, you need to love on those nurses. I used to spend 20 to 24 hours a week there. And those nurses, God bless them, because they became my family. And man, they just loved me so much. And I would sit in there, and Tim would spend hours with me, and then he'd come back for lunch and eat lunch with me. And then my brain would swell up, and then I'd have to take a week off, and they'd pump me full of steroids. And I would I was so sick. And finally my brain, the swelling around my brain was just so severe that I had to stop. And so then the next option came. And it was this. I look dead in this photo because I almost was. I won't stay on this long. It can be disturbing, but the next treatment, and this was the second to worst treatment, is called plasmophoresis. Catheter was inserted into my jugular vein in my neck. And within 3 hours, they would take out all of my blood, separate out my plasma. This is my plasma. If y'all know, plasma is supposed to be white. Mine was green. So this was the level of disease that I had. So they would take out all my plasma. It would take about 10 people donating their own plasma, as well as artificial ingredients to replace my plasma. And I started this process in February of 2020, right before the pandemic really got going. And the only place in New England actually that did this was Leahy Hospital. And there was an incredible team of people down at Leahy Hospital that did this procedure. And that catheter in my neck is normally done for people that have other diseases other than small fiber neuropathy. And so they barely numbed this area up, and I had to keep it in for 2 weeks. It was horrible, horrible, horrible. So they did a procedure where they implanted a port in my chest. And then the pandemic hit. So I was supposed to have this done every other week. And it was, when COVID hit, it was a little bit difficult and I had to take a couple weeks off. But once this port was implanted, and I still have it today, it's right here. Now that I've lost 50 pounds, it's sticking out even more, and it still goes up into my jugular vein and then right into my heart. And that's the key thing, right into my heart. This was the day, May 15th, 2020, that I had missed I could only miss 6 weeks. And so I was a high priority patient. The only people that had N95 masks were people that hoarded things and people like nurses. Luckily, my dad hoarded some N95 masks that were like 10 years old. He mailed them to me. They were in this weird container. I vacuumed it out and put it on, and I went to the hospital. This is down at Leahy. I was at the cancer center at Leahy Hospital on May 15th. It was a new nurse, and she was not used to accessing ports. She was fumbling around. I tried to reassure her and give her all kinds of like, hey, you're doing great. Just hang in there. Like, we're gonna get through this. Like, it'll all be great. And it wasn't quite enough, but it didn't quite calm her down. And she had dropped the needle a couple times, and she would wipe it off, but it's not like coming right out of the package for those of you in healthcare. And this was the machine that I would be hooked up to. And then like every 4 minutes, a whole new bottle of plasma would get hooked on right up here on the right. That, I don't know if you all care about it. That's what the plasma looked like going in. So you can see what plasma looks like. It's clear as a juxtaposition to what my plasma looked like coming out of my body, green. And then, May 18th. So it was really important. Do you all know what today is? May 18th? Yeah. So I decided that this was a really good day for me to share this story, because May 15th was when I had my plasmophoresis treatment after 6 weeks of crazy COVID. And then May 18th, that night I got really sick, but May 18th, the hospital called me and said, your blood culture came back. You are very sick. You may have COVID and a Staph aureus infection. You need to come right back. So I was very, very, very sick when I was admitted to Wentworth Douglas Hospital on May 18th, 2020. I've had bad times before. I've been in the hospital many times, so many times I don't even think I can count. I've had my whole pelvis and abdomen scooped out all at once. But going into the hospital on May 18th, 2020, I think was the bottom of the bottom. I remember I said goodbye to my dogs, which along with Tim mean the world to me. And then I was doing way too much listening about COVID, and I knew that they said you should say goodbye to your family, because once you're intubated, that's, they put an iPad in front of you and that's it. So I was in the emergency room, and Tim and I had a very, very tearful goodbye to each other. But I was starting to hallucinate at that point. When you have a temperature of 103.9, your brain is starting to not do so well. And I was already taking 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol every 4 hours, which is, I know, too much, but I was miserable. So I went into the COVID unit, And it is just like what you saw on TV. The nurses were amazing, but they had gowns on, 3 pairs of gloves, 2 goggles, a face mask. And here I was hallucinating. I remember calling Tim, well, he told me this in the middle of the night, and I thought that they were tying me down to the bed. And I just didn't understand, like, why were they tying me down? And I was hallucinating that they were tying me down. And here I was just thrashing in my bed sheets, and it was rough. But then I woke up and I saw this, not glamorous, but there was flowers around me. I don't know, I got a picture of that later. And I wasn't allowed to have visitors. And I remember saying to God, I wish I have a better picture, but I don't. I was scrolling through all my phone. I'm like, why don't I have something better? But I was still very, very sick. I couldn't get out of the bed barely. And I just wanted them to take the sensors off of me so I could go to the bathroom, but by myself without calling a nurse. And I had 4 antibiotics going into my other port. I have another port where my IVIG would go in. And I had 4 bags of antibiotics going into me all at once, along with electrolytes and fluids, because I couldn't eat anything. And I woke up to that. That was my reality after I woke up, after the fevers broke. And I still had the horrible migraines, but I was alive. I was kind of hoping that I wasn't going to wake up, but I woke up and I was like, all right. I was kind of pissed off at God, to be honest. I was like, I was hoping that you let me die, God. And so I said, like, all right, God, like, I'm angry. I am angry because not only did I live, but now I'm alive. I can barely get out of bed. I was, the stuff coming out of my body looked like aliens. If you thought my blood looked bad, you can only imagine what everything else coming out of me looked like. The pain that I was in was outrageous. And I was angry. And I was like, God, if you're even around, like, show yourself. Has anyone given God an ultimatum before? I did. So I was like, God, show yourself. And I swear to you, not even a minute went by. The kindest nurse I've ever had walk through the door. And, oh, all right, I got the goosebumps. I'm going to take a picture, Pam. Ever since she said that, I take pictures of my goosebumps now. And it was like God just said to me, Sarah, I'm everywhere. You asked where I was, and I am everywhere, Sarah. I'm the hands of your nurse. I'm the feet of the cleaning woman who says good morning to you before anyone else comes into this room. I have never left. I have been here all along. So I decided, all right, I'll keep going. And that was, maybe day 5. And then that really nice nurse said, I'm going to fight and get your partner in here for you. I was in the bathroom. And I didn't know if anything was happening. And like I said, I could barely stand up. I could barely walk. Came out of the bathroom and I saw this person. So I decided to keep fighting. And then I needed a blood transfusion. And I was like, all right, I gotta just keep fighting. It was like every day or every hour, even, just the kindness of the doctors and the kindness of the nurses and the kindness of the cleaning people. It just kept coming. I started meditating again. And this is a really key piece here. Like I have to bring in this meditation because I use a meditation app called Insight Timer, and it's fabulous because you can search. It's free, first of all, like free. There's like 50,000 meditations, maybe even more than that are free. And you could search by health. You could search by, I don't know, like a million different things. So I was searching for health and healing. And I started listening to this meditation where you brought light into your body as the universe or as God or whatever that the words that meant most to you. And bring it into your cells and then imagine it going all through your body. And at the end of the meditation, the gentleman that was leading the meditation said, healing starts at the cellular level and then it moves out from there. If you can find, and this is, I swear to you, I'm not making this up, people. He said to you, if you can find something that will heal you or will support your cells at the cellular level, do it. Do it. And I was like, oh, I'm going to put that like in my head. Okay. Like I was already really into health and wellness. I had done everything to treat my Lyme disease, from seeing a lady in the backwoods of Maine and taking herbs like that were steeped in alcohol, and oh my gosh, and I got very sick from that, to like hardcore antibiotics. So I've been on the spectrum of way out there to very allopathic. But I always tried to support my body the best I could. Portsmouth Health Food was my go-to. And so I always was looking, but nothing really had helped me much. So I got released from the hospital after a blood transfusion. My platelets had gotten so low, and I got a blood transfusion and I was released. And then stuff really started to change. I found this quote in my phone. I always save quotes because I love quotes. Quotes have always spoken to me, and then this just means a lot. Not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some come to clear your path. On the way home from the hospital that day, there was a storm that had come through and a rainbow came. Rainbows are kind of symbolic to me too, because I had an OT that came, and she talked about swallowing a rainbow. And the storm reference was important to me. And you may know that person. I didn't even ask you if I could use this. It was okay. I love this picture of you, Crystal. This OT came into my life. She asked if she could come over. I said no. Then she asked again, and I said, well, let's just talk first. I'm so sick. And Crystal has talked about this on this call. She just like said, hey, are you interested in nutrition? And I was like, yes, but it hasn't, yes. And she asked me about telomeres, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I do know about telomeres. And I'm not going to draw out my story. I've said my story a lot on this call. And I was like, yes, I learned about them back in evolutionary biology in college. I totally know about telomeres on the end of your DNA, on the end of your chromosomes. But once they get shortened, there's nothing you can do. Crystal's like, no, there is something you can do. And then she told me about isogenesis. And that it totally changed my life. Crystal told me about how when she started doing the Forever Pack, the Shake a Day, and taking this telomere support, she felt like she had swallowed a rainbow. And I was like, well, I can use like swallowing a rainbow. I had told her my story, and she's like, I can help you. Are you open to this? And Crystal, like, we're the same age. We both went to UNH, and Crystal lives literally around the corner from me, but we've never met. We never met. And Crystal hadn't been working. She hadn't been doing home care for a while. It's so funny. Sometimes we recount, like we just did this the other day, Crystal, didn't we? We recount like how easily our paths could have crossed, and yet they never did. It took, and I've said this many times, it took me almost dying for me to come back to life. And it took me almost dying to come back to life. It took Crystal coming into my life. It took Crystal going out onto a ledge. It took Crystal leading with her heart for me to come back to life. And I'm talking about leading from your heart tonight. I'm talking about sharing your story. I'm talking about sharing your story more. Yes, we talk about 30-second stories and 90-second stories, and those are definitely appropriate when talking with people sometimes, but I have also found that sometimes you just got to talk, you just got to share your story, and you just got to lead with your heart, because you never know where somebody is. You never know what may resonate with someone. You just never know. You never know the struggles that people are going through. And sometimes just like following your intuition and following your heart will just lead you in places that you would never, never, never have imagined. and we just don't know what people are struggling with. And we have like such an amazing tool and such amazing tools in this like amazing company in this. It truly does blow my mind. I mean, I say poor Tim because I've heard him on calls at work. He's like, I want to invite you over, but just so you know, Sarah's now an ISA evangelist. That's my new term, an ISA evangelist. So you're going to hear about telomeres. You're going to hear about isogenics. So just come over, fasten your seatbelt because you're going to go on an isogenics ride. And it is, I can't go anywhere now, whether I'm in line at the store, whether I am going to a doctor's appointment, people just see me and they're like, I knew you before and I see you now. You didn't have life in your eyes before. As I was talking to my sister Crystal earlier, she's like, there was something missing from your eyes and now it's back. I kind of was looking at old pictures. So Crystal, this was a picture literally a week after I got out of the hospital last year. I look bad, don't I? But when Crystal came into my life and she introduced shakes, I was able to bring my sister Kate over and my nephews. I didn't see them for, I don't know, Kate, a long time, but I got to hold them. And I got to see them every single week for the next 6 months. I literally got to see them like blossom into little people. And I actually got to run around with them. I had never done that before. I don't think I had run ever since I was in college. And Crystal gave me that gift back. But just like I talked about the metaphor with climbing up a mountain, it's not easy, is it, people? Going on a health and wellness journey isn't easy. And I had bumps in the road. I had to go through 2 more surgeries, and this is what a lot of my days looked like. My migraines were still there, and I had to use a lot of ice. This is my my big dog Bo, and my little dog Baxter, and my kitty Raisin. And I just kept trying to plug along with good thoughts and doing all the things, but you know, it was still rough. And then collagen came along, and that has really helped. I mean, look at the difference in my face. I had lots of inflammation. I have lots of inflammation going on. And just tools, like so many tools help. Tools. Whoops, wrong way. And then today, so putting the good things in my body have really helped. My shakes have really helped. Telomere support, collagen has really helped. But then people, I've talked to JoJo and Crystal about this. Crystal has said, and JoJo has said, you don't know what you don't know. And I have known that, like, I have stinking thinking, and, you know, I didn't have the best mindset. And then both JoJo and Crystal encouraged me to do the most powerful women of networking thing this weekend. I was like, I don't know, like 10 hours a day for 3 days. Like, really, do I need that? Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm still healing. Like, do I really need a journey? Oh, people. Personal development, investing in yourself. I didn't know I needed it until I needed it. I took that picture of the you versus you on Saturday morning because I started to fill up my cup on Friday, and I was like, oh my gosh, how did I not realize? How did I not realize that I was not investing in myself? How did I not realize that my mindset about so many things was still so crummy? And I got up and I did yoga for an hour, and then I meditated for an hour, and then I spent an hour with Tim and my animals, and then I did training for another 12. I never thought that I could have done that. Never. And then I did it again the next day. And then I got up on Monday and I worked all day. But I shouldn't even call it work, because it's not work. Like, it's not work. I just got up and I led with my heart again. And Crystal's like, hey, like, let's do this, let's do that. And that's I guess that's it. And I have this, I saw this. I couldn't really afford it. And I'm not saying go buy and put things on credit cards. It was a little more than I could afford. But I saw this in a store and I loved it. And I bought this like 5 years ago. If I can't read it, I'll read it. It says, just when the caterpillar thought the world was over, it became a butterfly. I hung this up in my bathroom. In my bathroom that had a shower, it had a big shower stall in it because I had to put a chair in it. And I would shower in that bathroom when I had to sit in a chair that had a hand railing mounted in it. And I would sit in that bathroom, in that chair that I would have to hold onto, that I would cry when I would take a shower. And I would read that over and over. And I would be like, I am in this cocoon. Man, am I in this cocoon? But I know that I have wings and they will come out someday. And I would just read it over and over again. And eventually the wings have come out. And so I guess I'll just close that wherever you are in life, just know that like things are going to get better, that things will change, that everything is a process. And to share your story because it matters. It matters. It matters always. Even when you feel crummy in it, even when it's hard to share, even when you even when you don't feel perfect, because there is no such thing as perfect, and that's okay. I think that's it.
Oh my gosh, Sarah, so amazing. Oh, if you want to unshare your screen, I a million things. I get to talk to you every day though, so I'd love to open it up for anybody else who wants to, give us a takeaway, ask you a question. I know that you are this is recent that you've really been feeling well and that you've been waking up with purpose, right? Just, I love that so much. And I'm blessed that you just have truly fallen in love with Isogenics and our community and that you're part of our community. I just know there's going to be amazing things happening, but let me open it up if anybody wants to, give Sarah a takeaway or ask a question or, share a little something that resonated with you. Don't be shy.
And criticisms are fine too, because they're a gift.
Sarah, you have a lot of
Love you, Auntie Sarah.
We love you, Auntie Sarah.
Oh,
We're proud of you.
We're proud of you.
We love you.
Killian and Maddox, thank you.
Night, night.
Night, night.
Sorry.
That's awesome.
so cute. Sarah, Sarah, you have a lot of comments in the chat as well too. I really loved like when you were sharing your story, it's just like I kept thinking of Lisa Nichols and how you were sharing in her way the valley, like where you were before, what your dip was and then coming out of it. And I loved how you had all the emotions in there. You had the joy, you could feel your passion in what you're really passionate about. And then like the depths of like how awful that experience was. And I felt like I was in it. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine just like constant headaches and like hallucinating and things like that. I mean, I can imagine it a little bit, but you still threw in some humor too, which I appreciated. So it was an emotional roller coaster, but it was just so perfectly you.
That's such a compliment because I actually listened to Lisa Nichols talk again this morning from this weekend. And, I thought it was really powerful when she had talked about, sharing your authentic self and your story. And that's how she was on the stage with Oprah the first time she shared her story with, what did she say, Jack Canfield and I don't know, someone else big, and they didn't get any responses, but she did.
Yeah. Yeah, she's an amazing person because she shows you how to be authentic and just go through that dip and like lead people through that like emotional thing, but then just come out feeling like all warm and fuzzy and like it's okay to be you. So thanks for sharing.
Well, and I've been struggling with that. Do I share my authentic self? Do I just share from the top of I'm feeling great and everything's good? And it was important for me to share on this 1-year anniversary. I haven't posted anything on Facebook yet. And I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, I don't know. But I think it was important for me to share authentically because like Lisa said, we all struggle with the valley. Half the people are in the valley, just like half the people are up on the mountain. And if you just talk about the mountain, you leave half the people behind. And if you just talk about the valley, you leave the other half behind.
Yeah. Be
But
all
Sarah,
of you.
yeah, and the people on the mountain, they don't need you. It's the people in the valley that need us. The people who are already on the mountain have found their way, right?
Yeah.
So that's, I think, what is powerful about what you said, how there can be transformation. The compelling truth in the way you delivered that. There can be transformation. There was a real shift from there. And then how your story then showed us how your transformation, as difficult as it's been, it's happened. And you're the ISA angel now. I love that. I love that everyone that comes in goes, is going to be on isogenics by the time they leave your house. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, right? Yeah, I was totally enthralled. Thank you.
My nephews are covered in it. I forgot to put that picture in.
Tracy, I know you unmuted. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, oh my goodness. I just want to thank you for your bravery. I didn't know your whole story and probably not even a quarter of it. So it just touched me in so many ways. I was in tears through so many of it because I can relate to some pieces of your journey. And then I liked your mountain analogy too. That really stuck with me. But you're just really beautiful inside and out. And from the beginning of your journey and through it to today. So I just want to thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Tracy.
Yeah.
A lot to me.
So.
I'd love to say, I think at some point, Sarah, you said something along the lines of, you don't have to be at your end goal to share and to tell people your story. And I think a lot of people feel that way, that they haven't made it yet. They haven't had their transformation, or they haven't, made a certain amount of money, or like whatever it is that they feel like their end goal is. And it's so true that there's so many milestones along the way. And I also would love to point out, we don't all have, thank God, a story like Sarah's. We don't all have this, horrific health journey that we've been on. But because Sarah is so courageous and sharing her story with us, the beauty of this is we can borrow her story and we can share it with people who need to hear it. We can introduce people to Sarah, but we can borrow her story or pieces of it and just, use them when we're talking to other people. And I know Sarah has, really, really, and I didn't know it when I met her, but in talking with you over the last year, Sarah, I know that you have done so many holistic things. You've met with naturopaths, you've done so many things. And I think it really speaks to the power of what we have, you guys, here in our nutrition, because, this did not cure Sarah, right? But it allowed her body to heal on a higher level that she had been searching for 20 years. you know, doctor after doctor after doctor, trying thing after thing after thing. And by using Isagenix as one of her tools, you know, it just got her to the next point. I mean, even so, Sarah, you love, you know, meditating and you love doing yoga. You haven't even been able to do that, you know, and by introducing this nutrition, you got to the level where now you can do that. And that's just another tool in your toolbox that I know that you're using so beautifully. So, you know, it's incredible, but I hope that you guys truly understand in hearing that, you know, it wasn't just Sarah in hospitals. It was Sarah doing, you know, eating barely anything. I mean, her diet was minimal because she was really trying to do the right things along the way. And so it's just another testimony to how powerful this amazing nutrition is. So I wanted to just add that, Sarah, because I think everybody, there's 25 people right now. I think everybody is going to take your story and bless some people because of it. And I'm just so grateful for you.
Yeah, actually, Isagenix was, I was restrictive. I had such restrictive eating before. I actually would take pictures of my food all the time because I barely ate. I was eating cucumbers, tomatoes, and a vegan goat cheese as my meal. And then I had like protein shakes that were very expensive and tasted horrible. And yes, I got up to 249 pounds of inflammatory weight. So, yeah, it's not, you know, I was doing the right stuff. So my eating is more free and wonderful than it ever has been now. People are like, oh, you do shakes? And I was like, no, I do shakes. They're amazing. Yes, I do shakes. Yes. And it's the best ever. And I eat lots of other stuff too.
Sarah, thank you so
Hi,
much for
Joe.
sharing your story. Just amazing to see where you're at now, and knowing that, you know, some people think there's a beginning and an end, right? There's a beginning in my story and an end of a story, and there's really not ever an end. It's just they're little pit stops on the journey up to somewhere better. And so awesome to where you are right now and to be able to share that. But you know, to share your authentic journey, that is what blesses people. To share our mess and our message is the biggest thing that we can share with people. That's the biggest gift that we have to share, because in all of that and all of the pain and all of the struggle and there's always a gift. And so to find the gifts that are inside of there is so important to be able to move that forward, and to be able to share that and show that to people. That's inspirational in a whole different way, right? So kudos to you, sister. Love your glow.
Thank you, Jojo. Thanks for logging in while you're on vacation.
Wouldn't miss it.
Thank you.
I'll just say something real quick, if that's okay.
Please do.
Man, that was awesome, Sarah. That was so from the heart. It was raw, authentic, just sharing your entire story. Really, I'm with Dave and I'm with everyone else who's just, you know, the shivers up my spine, and everything that you've been through. It all resulted in something pretty darn special that I think is growing, is just going to continue to blossom. So anything that we all can do to help, let us know. But thank you for sharing tonight. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Scott.
Awesome. Well, I think we should end on that because you're just a beautiful person, Sarah. Thank you so much. I know that we didn't give you a whole lot of time to prepare, and you completely rocked it. You're just a natural, and so many people are going to be blessed, you know, in the next 100 years. You're going to be 140 when you die. I don't know. Maybe 110 years. I don't know. All right, awesome. Well, thank you guys. I think one last word, Sarah, end the call with something, you know, I don't know. Can you be more profound? I don't even know.
There's always something greater coming. Always be grateful. I just set up a workspace Tim helped me set up a workspace this weekend, and one of the signs I have on it says a grateful heart sees many blessings. And I love that quote. I feel like that was something that has carried me through always. No matter what you're going through, I feel like there's always something good to see. And whether it's going through something really good or going through something really rough, there's always blessings. There's always blessings. There's always good something. There's always good. You may not see it at the moment. We may be in the caterpillar phase. We may be in the valley phase. But there's good coming. Share your story.
Share your story.
Mhm.
Borrow other people's stories. and
Borrow
share it
people's
too.
stories.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, everybody. I hope you have an amazing week, and just digest all this awesomeness and go forward and bless more lives, because there's other Sarahs out there who need us so badly.
Yes.
All right. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Don't forget free
Great week,
shipping this
everyone.
week, you guys. So
Oh, yeah.
$200 order and over, or $222 in Canada. Free shipping this week. So 6-pack of collagen. Think about that. You get 6-pack of collagen, you get a box for free and free shipping.
Whoop, whoop.
Oh,
Nice. Okay. Let's go
Bye,
share
everyone.
share some love. Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Sarah.
bye.
You're awesome.